Two guys of Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Welcome in to the OG edition of Write That Down, where for the last decade plus, we have been keeping track of our predictions with statistics like absolute buffoons, showing you how wrong we are on a regular basis here. We also have the football edition, the Viking-centric edition over on Purple Daily here. So we'll go through our accountability session. We will make some predictions. And first, we will shout out North American Banking Company. You can take this to the bank. The North American Banking Company, Minnesota-based since 1998, 6 locations in the Twin Cities. And if you're just looking for a better experience checking savings, or maybe it's something bigger, you're buying a home, tackling a renovation, setting up a new business, North American Banking Company can help you with a focus on personal relationships, cutting-edge online tools. And again, they're Minnesota-based. They know what it's like to live life in the Twin Cities and metro area. NABankCode.com/Mackey to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And we don't know what the Twins roster is going to look like the rest of the season. It is trade deadline week, but there are tickets available to watch some fun young players still, Declan.
That's right. Go to twins.com to learn more. You got 612 Saturdays. You might, I don't know, maybe the next time you buy a Twins ticket, if you're not going today, and I'm not even sure if he's in the lineup because he left with a migraine yesterday. Is this the last time we saw Carlos Correa in a Twins uniform? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the trade deadline tomorrow. But go to twins.com to get those tickets. Twins.com for more information.
Yeah, there's a juicy rumor out there that like the Astros would be
Write this down.
willing to reunite. Of course, that's all relative, right? Like if the Twins went to the Astros and said, we got the tab. Don't worry. You guys can eat for free here. You get Carlos Correa for the next handful of years, and we will pick up 90% of the tab. Then, they probably take him. But it's a sunk cost at this point, right? If you feel like we need some playing time, Keyshawn's coming back.
Right.
There's some other guys coming through the system here.
Right.
Brooks Lee and Royce Lewis need some places to play. It just didn't work out, Carlos. It's not you, it's us. Well, it's kind of you.
No,
it's both of us.
Yeah. It's two parties. It's two parties involved. But are you going to do that without like my question again? This always goes back to who owns the team right now, right? Like, are the Pohlads going to go along with that, with the team not being like you have no idea unless there's an active person who's about to take over and we just don't know, and they're calling shots. Like, it makes it so difficult.
But the decision to me should have nothing to do with. I mean, it's not my organization, it's not my money, but you have two options. You could keep paying $36 million a year for a continuously broken player that is not living up to what you initially thought when you signed him, or even when he did, the rest of the team wasn't good enough, or he'd be on the injured list, whatever. Like, it didn't work during the window that you thought that it would work. And you can keep paying him and hoping that it works at some point, despite all the evidence showing that he's probably only going to keep declining. Or you can pay for some of it that you're already paying for, remove him from the equation, open up spots for other young players to come up and develop and thrive, and maybe get a little young prospect back in return for picking up part of the tab.
Well, that's the big question to me, though, is like, how much would you be on the hook for?
Yeah.
Because, if they'll pick up a bunch of it, then I'll pay part of it for sure.
Maybe someone has a
Write that down.
prediction in line with that. But let's do the accountability session here, explain how this works. It's 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to participate like our guy Dylan is about to, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled for some time here in the coming weeks. Let's start with Judd. A couple things came off the board.
It's not been a good season for me. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat this. The bosses aren't happy either. I did get a call about this. They're like, if you can't get these predictions straight, why do we employ you? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's a great question.
Yeah, the Hubbard family actually is tracking these specifically.
It was a conference call.
You know, you said Royce Lewis will hit 3 or more home runs by this week's Write That Down. I love the occasional stray random Judd prediction.
This should have happened, by the way. He is a terrible college basketball coach, and he's still doing Fox Sports Radio. Go ahead.
You said by the end of July, Doug Gottlieb will give up one of his 2 jobs with either Fox Sports Radio or his head coaching job with Green Bay. Well, he's still doing, unless he gives it up by tomorrow.
Yeah, he shouldn't be, though. It was a debacle. That Green Bay basketball program is not awful, and right now it's awful. Should not be awful.
Didn't they win like 2 games or something?
Yes.
It was, hold on a second.
Yes.
The show is not going to continue until we figure out how many games
absent.
the Green Bay men's basketball team.
They were absolutely terrible.
The Green Bay Phoenix.
Yep.
The Green Bay Phoenix? Really? Yeah. Oh man, and that's the Horizon League there too. So that is they were 11th in the Horizon League last year.
He shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not going to work.
They were 2-18 in Horizon League play.
Yeah,
2-18, 4-28 on the season.
Yep, it was a terrible idea. It was a bad idea to start with, and it's now been confirmed. And the fact that he's still coaching makes them wrong, not me.
So there's your Green Bay men's basketball.
Wow, yeah, learning something new every day.
I've seen a game. I've been to a game.
With Doug Gottlieb coaching?
No. In 2003, when I covered the Packers, I went to their home. Their home building is across the street from
It's a brewery.
Lambeau Field, Resch Center. Resch Center. I went
It's a dive bar.
Saw a game. It was a very nice arena.
But their arena is a dive bar?
I was joking. It was just in the middle of Green
He's joking.
Bay.
He's
Like,
mocking with.
It wouldn't shock me in Green
That's
Bay.
what
It's like,
He's
it's like
mocking
a BMW.
Wisconsin. He's mocking Wisconsin.
I'm more
You're out of
mocking
line.
the whole thing, but yes, yeah, Green Bay basketball.
Right across the street from Lambeau.
Let's go. Go Phoenix. I said Ricky Fowler would win the 3M Open. He had a nice showing, but he did not win the 3M Open. Listeners had 2 things come off here, both in green. So Bruce, in the show last week, said that I would use a football sounder during one of our predictions, and he nailed that. Alex said the Twins, this should have come off the board a couple weeks ago, but he said the Twins will be in second place or better in the AL Central going into the All-Star break, and that was a pillow fight for second place. But they were a half game up on the third place team during the All-Star break. So, not anymore, though.
A long time ago now. It feels like a long time ago. Memories.
Dude, Baltimore is going to catch them this weekend. Like, Baltimore is now red hot, only 8 games under 500, while the Twins are 5. Declan said the Twins will win at least 3 of these 4 July series.
Incredible.
Colorado, LA Dodgers, so it could have come off the board then. Washington, and then Boston right now. So, yeah, that Colorado series, man, that got it all started. So none of us are hitting 300. I'm at 288. Listeners 273. Judd 254. Declan 242. Declan does have the home run lead with 4. The rest of us have 3. Career stats dating back to 2018. Declan 340 leads the pack. Judd with 371 hits is the hit king. Listeners with 73 home runs lead that category. So, all right, let's get Dylan in here, making his return to write that down as a guest listener predictor. Dylan, hello.
What's going on, boys?
What's happening, man? Yeah. How's life with you?
Oh, it's not too bad. We just got a house last year, so getting adjusted all that.
Okay.
Lots of repairs, lots of bills.
Bills, yes, not a whole lot of repairs.
That's good.
Old owner kept up with it pretty well.
Okay.
Excellent.
Any water in the basement?
Declan can help you if you need some.
Declan's got a lot of problems, so he can help you.
Yeah, like our house has like some tree root issues within the pipes, so we would have to like call like some people to get it cleaned out, but nothing really.
If you need a chainsaw, Judd is thinking about dabbling.
I know what
in
he's
the
talking.
chainsaw
I got the
market.
same thing. The tree root thing. It drives me crazy. These tree roots, they get into your pipes and stuff. Like,
Do these pilgrims who are planting trees, back in the do they not think about the future generation homeowners that are going to have to deal with those massive roots?
How dare?
When they built the houses, I would have preferred they have done it competently so the tree roots couldn't get in.
You need proper tree housing frame spacing is
Correct.
the problem here.
Build a fortress around the pipe itself underground so that you can't get the tree roots in.
You know what would fix this? A moat. A moat. If everyone just had like a water moat around their home. You know,
That's a good point.
think about it.
Okay.
Would it?
If you built it deep enough, right?
Well,
okay.
The problem is those tree roots. They're sneaky.
Dylan, any thoughts on Green Bay men's college basketball?
Not at all.
The Phoenix are in a terrible place right now, partially because they're poorly coached.
Write this down.
So we're going to start with Dylan. You're going to make your first prediction, over to Judd, and then Declan, and then I'll round it out here. So the floor is yours, Dylan.
Write this down.
Let's do this.
This is going to go a shout out to one of my close friends, Jackson, for giving me this idea of a prediction. So the AFC as a whole, there's like the three juggernauts. There's the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a couple other mix around teams that could make the playoffs this year. I know it's a long shot. They haven't made the playoffs since 2010, but I can see the New York Jets potentially making the playoffs this year.
Wow.
With signing Aaron Glenn, re-signing Justin Fields, even though he was with the Bears for a time period. I could see some growths. He's playing with his old college roommate. They re-signed him and Sauce Gardner, and I could see a big culture change. So write this down. The Jets will make the playoffs this year.
Wow, Dylan just coming in hot. Jets. Let's go. Judd, what's your first prediction?
Okay, I've been talking about the future of the Twins all week long in the guise of eventually, if Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, is telling the truth, this team's going to be sold, and it shouldn't be that long. So write this down. Prediction number 1. The Twins will have a new president of baseball and business operations within 1 year of ownership taking control. In other words, Derek Falvey will be gone.
Wow.
So I don't know if they'll hire. My guess is that they will actually go out and have a president of business operations and a president of baseball, because one person doing both is silly, even if they're good at their job. But Derek Falvey will be gone.
Interesting.
Within 1 year. So they'll give it
1 year of the ownership
of the chain of the official change. So they'll give it. They won't blow them out in 2 weeks or something like that. They'll actually want to see
But
how
if
it
they
operates.
do, you would get.
I'm right.
The point.
I'm right. I'm only wrong if it's 1 year and he's still in charge.
Okay.
Write this down.
The Dexter.
Write this down. Multiple non-rental Twins players will be traded at the deadline. So like Jackson, guys with term.
More so not free agents this winter, basically.
Correct. Right? So like obviously Coulomb and Bader, and Bader would count as a rental. He would not count. I know he has the team option, but that's not. I need term. I need at least a year of control. So like Jackson Duran, if they want to throw in the Larnach or the Wallner situation into there, I don't think they would. But multiple non-rental Twins players will be traded by tomorrow's deadline. Write it down.
Upon being traded, will they hug?
little deke out, little fake out hug. Maybe.
Did we find out was Duran, was he trying to be funny and deke people out, or was he legitimately just like hugging his friends in the bullpen?
I think it was the latter. We did not see him yesterday in the clubhouse, so maybe he got traded. I don't know. Maybe he was getting more hugs. Never know.
It's possible that they've told him by now, like, hey, you're probably going to get traded. Right? I mean, they tend not to just spring that on guys.
I mean, Ryan Jeffers literally said yesterday in the clubhouse, we're waiting for the next bomb to drop. That was in a direct quote. We're waiting for the next bomb to drop.
They've dropped the bomb on themselves, so congratulations.
Yeah, maybe if you hit a few more bombs, then you wouldn't have to worry about it.
And then he also said, sometimes you're buying and sometimes you're getting younger. That's what he said with the trade deadline. There's two paths. Either you're buying or you're getting younger. It's pretty candid there.
Either you're winning or you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
Write this down.
Twins are doing a lot of learning here. So I actually had a similar prediction about, maybe I can go with this still. Either Derek Falvey and or Rocco Baldelli will not be in their current positions with the Twins 1 year from now. So I'm saying 1 year from now, like next year's, I'll say by next year's trade deadline, the 2026 trade deadline, either Falvey and or Rocco Baldelli will not be in their current positions with the Twins. So there's a few ways to get there.
Yeah, that's fair.
It could be that like Falvey sticks around, but they find a new leader of business ops or something, and then technicality there, I would get the correct
Write this down.
point. But back to Dylan for your second prediction.
Alrighty. I love this free agency the Vikings went to. I gave it an A+. There's a lot of good, positive things to look forward to this year. One of my favorite ones, though, is from Jordan Mason. When he took over for Christian McCaffrey last year, he did pretty well for the most part. And with them getting him and increasing offensive line, they're going to be running the ball a little bit more. So write this down. The first Vikings rushing touchdown this year will be made by Jordan Mason.
Yeah. Love it, man. Yeah. He's looking pretty spry out there. And Judd and I we probably mentioned this a couple times throughout Judd's camp notes, but they're like trying to get him the ball in the passing game too. They're definitely test driving how trustworthy is he if we float a ball his direction in the air. And I think they'll learn a lot about, is it a 50-50 split, or do we not trust him in that aspect? So it's got to be, 70-30 Aaron Jones. But he's been a fun guy to watch.
Write this down.
For sure during camp. Judd?
All right, I'm going to continue down my path, looking forward, looking for bright spots for the Twins, because I bring positivity every day of my life.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
Within 6 months of the team being officially sold, Joe Ryan will sign a contract extension. So within 6 months, within 6 months of the team, I am
with the Twins.
With the Twins. So I'm yes. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to create a little bit of skepticism that this team is close to being sold. So it was Manfred that came out and said, "Oh, there's a lot you don't know. Like it's on track." Okay, well, Rob, if you're not telling the truth, get the F out of my clubhouse too.
I was just about to say that.
But if you are telling the truth, I think within 6 months, I think Joe Ryan is the first internal domino to fall to like, okay, we're actually going to take this a lot more seriously than the previous ownership group.
Okay. Love it. And if you're not, you can get the F out of my clubhouse too.
Get the F out of my StreamYard.
That's right. Declan.
All right, write this down. I might have already made a prediction like this before that didn't come true, and I'm going to try it again. Write this down. Ty France will not be on the active roster by September 1st.
Okay.
Sure,
I think it's more likely a DFA than a trade by tomorrow. But Ty France, I think the days are numbered.
Well, the Ty France hate on this podcast.
I think you should go up to him.
He's been exactly what you
in the clubhouse and say, Ty. Question for you. Yeah.
No.
Are you surprised you're still here? Because I am.
Good. That would go over really well.
I think if in the grand scheme of things, if you would have said, okay, Ty France is going to come in here and he's gonna drive in some runs. He's gonna be on pace for like a win and a half above replacement for a few $1 million. I think Ty France did his duty with this mediocre Minnesota Twins team. Nice job, Ty.
But Declan's right now. He's now a clog.
Yeah.
He's hair in the drain of my first base situation.
Jeez.
He's clogging up. He's clogging it up.
You could argue Correa is more of a clog than Ty France, based on how many middle infielders they have in their pipeline.
And I ain't going to fight you on that either. I'm just saying it's clog time.
In fact, Ty France, hot take, has had a better season than Carlos Correa.
Yep. And now it's time for Drano.
Drano.
The Supermax Drano. Okay, let's keep the Twins train rolling here. Write this down. Somebody who has not yet homered for the Twins this season will homer in August. So somebody there, and there might be some new guys on the way. Luke Keyshaw has not homered yet for the Twins. Got on base a bunch.
Aaron Sabato
could hit a home run. There's plenty of options here.
Carson McCusker could come back.
He could.
He's a show pony.
He is a show pony. It was a great Mount Rushmore.
I feel like show pony is now a term that we need to throw around more across all
sports or even in life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I can think of some show ponies in my.
It's a great show pony's just a great term, and I feel like it was a clubhouse term at one time, but now it has to be out there.
I love bringing locker room and clubhouse vernacular to the real world.
Write this down.
Dylan, the show pony of this podcast right now. Dylan, third prediction.
Alrighty, write this down. The winner of the Super Bowl for this year will be a team winning its first Super Bowl.
Okay.
So a lot of
Lions, Texans, Bills, Vikings,
Jags,
Jaguars.
it's always cool to see like teams get like multiple like Super Bowls, like see that statistic throughout history. But it also feels like when a team wins their first, it's like a huge relief off their shoulders.
Yeah. The Browns.
Yeah.
Maybe in like
Brownies.
years.
Flacco. Yeah. I like that. So there's some, I mean, some of the big favorites. I mean, Lions, Bills, like are in that bin. So kind of love this prediction. Dylan, is there anyone you'd like to shout out here with this life-changing Write That Down platform right now?
Like to thank all my family and friends for all my obsession with football, sports, fantasy sports, all of that. And I'd like to shout out you guys for putting on great content every single day too.
Thank you, Dylan. We appreciate the kind words and good luck on your predictions, sir.
Thank you.
Great stuff from guest listener predictor Dylan. So we'll make our 3 final predictions here in a minute, but the Mackeys enjoyed themselves in Il Primo tavern-style Green Mill pizza last night. Whew. So sausage, pepperoni, mushroom, and that legendary, iconic Green Mill restaurant, the sauce, the premium ingredients that are sprinkled within. So our friends at Pep's Pizza, who we've been talking about their legit pizza for several months, they also distribute Green Mill restaurant pizza. So the iconic Green Mill brand in the grocery store and in your freezer. They also have soft breadsticks and sauces available at your local grocer. Learn more at greenmillfoods.com. And maybe you can, while you're planning your pizza plans for the weekend, plan your golf tee time at Meadows at Mystic.
Exactly.
Dex.
And Judd, too. Judd, you want to go swing some clubs?
Judd, you want to do the
as
Meadows
Mystic
read?
Lake?
Hey, it looks great. You know what? I'd love to sit on that patio and enjoy a couple
there you
of
go.
beers. How about that?
That's a
There
great
you
patio.
go.
I love the
It
outdoors.
is. It's a beautiful, humongous
Beautiful.
patio. Judd, I'll meet you there. You can just pound some drinks. I'll, hopefully play under 4 hours, and I'll meet you.
Why don't you pick me up?
Okay, may as well. I'll pick
I'm
you up. And
pounding beers, so I don't want to drive.
we'll book that tee time at the Meadows at Mystic Lake. Golfthemeadows.com to check out the tee sheet there. Get in there. Some of the best golf in the world. And also, if you're coming up for a Vikings game, stop it. Bring your clubs. Go to golfthemeadows.com to book that tee time.
Write this down.
Write that down. Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that then.
All right, Judd.
Okay, I brought Twins positivity to my predictions. I now feel bad that I called Ty France a clog. So Ty, if you're here, if you're watching this, I'd like to apologize because I'm going to go back to being positive again. Write this down. Type of prediction Declan loves because it's going to be pushed off quite a ways again. But Royce Lewis will be an American League All-Star next season. Royce Lewis is going to rebound. I think he's going to have a big year. I think he's finally, knock on wood, going to stay healthy. There's too much there for this not to work. Like, I don't see bust. Like, I see periods of adjustment. I see a tough year that got off to a bad start because of the injury. But when he's going well, it just doesn't feel like, it's some type of fluke. It feels like it's real. So I think he's going to come back. And also, credit to him. His play, and I know that he did have, I think, an error last night at third base on a fielding play, but his arm and his throws from third base, like, he clearly has worked on that. His throws from third base now, his like, there was a time where I said just put Brooks Lee at third base, put Royce at second base, and be done with it, and just make Royce learn second base. And it feels like Royce said, screw you, sports dad. I'm going to go and work my ass off. This is not a fluke. Like, he didn't just get good at third base. I don't think he likes to talk about the work he's done behind the scenes, but he did work here. And everything Plouffe said about his lack of abilities at third base from an arm standpoint has been rectified. So, American League All-Star a year from now, next season, Royce Lewis.
Love it. Yeah, he looks like a third baseman.
Yeah.
Right? He just, his size, 6 feet. He's a kind of a bigger guy. And if he could anchor that, I mean, in a perfect world for 10 years, 8 years, 10 years, a lot would have to happen for Royce Lewis to, I think, stick around here for a decade. But
sure,
it is noticeable. And he continues to show some flashes, a bunch of multi-hit games, little bit of power flash here and there. He's not what he was maybe at his peak 2 years ago, but
there's too much in the tool set for him not to be good unless he just gets hurt again and again.
By the way, so he played, just for fun here, last year played 400 innings at third base. This year he's at 370. So about the same amount of innings last year and this year at third base. 6 throwing errors, and that doesn't count like the errant throws that maybe weren't errors or were like picked by the first baseman. 6 throwing errors last year in 400 innings. None so far, knock on wood, in 2025. He has not made a throwing error.
Kind of weird. Corey Provis brought this up to Rocco last weekend, but when Brooks Lee starts at third base or even shortstop, and I know these are, I don't know if these correlate, but even Rocco said this is interesting. When he starts at third base and shortstop, offensively, Brooks Lee is really good. When he plays at second base, his OPS is 300 points lower when he plays second versus third base, where he's been awesome this year. Like he has an 800 OPS this season when he starts. And the splits, by the way, are almost even. Like at second base, he's had 109 at bats. He's a 508 OPS. When he's at third, he's hitting 289 and 800 OPS. He had to come in off the bench yesterday and hit 2 home runs from both sides of the plate. He's going to be at shortstop again today to wrap up the series against Boston, and he's been solid there. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, like it probably shouldn't matter, but it is quite crazy that his OPS drops off by 200 plus points when he starts at second base as opposed to the left side of the infield. It's very weird.
There's probably some sort of, I mean, that's a great question for Trevor Plouffe.
I meant to bring it up
just
yesterday.
Like feel comfortable at a position mentally, physically, everything.
Yeah. We were on such a run with Show Pony that I wasn't able to squeeze that one in yesterday.
And to that point, though, like Brooks Lee post All-Star game until the last 2 or 3 games had been terrible. He needs to be playing all the time now, too. Mm-hmm. Like this is not we can't play you because, like, I don't care if it comes to Correa's expense, but this team is not in a position not to play him. You need to let him go and find out what he can do. And if he struggles his ass off, he struggles his ass off.
Yeah.
But, we are past the point of, we got to play these certain players. Screw that.
Yeah, there is, I think, like with baseball players, one last thought on this, is there is, if you're not fully comfortable at a defensive position, there is a certain level of just anxiety. You're just kind of thinking about it, you're planning, but you're also trying to worry about hitting. If you feel super comfortable at a defensive position, you're not thinking about it when you're in the dugout or the on deck circle or subconsciously. So I would say that, like with all these guys, Brooks Lee probably not going to play third base as long as Royce Lewis is on this team. So he's going to have to get comfortable mentally and otherwise throughout an offseason. It is a great sign that dude's bat has come alive the last couple games, though.
Yeah.
Deck's final prediction.
So write this down. Between now and the end of the season, Luke Keeschall, Aaron Sabato, Austin Martin, and Edward Julian will all be in the same starting lineup for the Twins at some point.
St. Paul Saints night at Target Field.
Yeah. Well, they just did that. They did that this week. So that they already crossed off that. So I guess we'll do it again. Yeah. We'll do it again in September. But Keeschall, Sabato, Martin, Julian. Martin's been great. Julian had like another 3-hit day last night with St. Paul. And then add Keeschall onto that. They'll roll out a starting lineup with all 4 of those guys in it at some point.
Off the record, what positions?
Sabato at first base, Keeschall probably at DH, Julian at second, and Austin Martin maybe in left.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see that.
Center.
Or center, I was going to say.
Center.
Vader gone.
I mean, hell, if it happens,
Buck is out again.
There's a chance Austin Martin's up like in 2 days and plays center field. So
write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, final prediction. The Green Bay men's basketball team will win more than 4 games this upcoming season.
So the Phoenix is going to rise from the ashes?
Yeah. You damn right they are.
More than 4? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they went 4-28 under Doug Gottlieb's tutelage last year.
Yeah, again, I was right. Green, they're wrong. He should not have that job. They cost me to write that down point needlessly.
And I'm saying they're going to win at least 5 games. So at least 5 wins for the Green Bay men's basketball team. Their wins last year were against Western Illinois, Southern Illinois Edwardsville, Wright State, and Detroit Mercy College.
Oh, Detroit Mercy. I once saw them play the Gophers in the late 80s. at Williams Arena with God rest his soul, the late Ricky Birdsong, who went on to coach Northwestern and was gunned down in a bizarre incident.
What?
Yeah, Ricky Birdsong. Ricky Birdsong's the dude that got so frustrated during a game against Northwestern, against the Gophers at Williams Arena, that he went and sat in the crowd with the fans.
Ricky Birdsong.
Yeah, but
there is a Wikipedia page here.
Yeah, he was gunned down in a bizarre incident. It might have been in Evanston.
Wow. Didn't hey, listen, this is the type of stuff you get on the Mackey and Judd podcast.
Yeah. Sports Dad brings it sometimes.
You think you're throwing a curveball about Detroit Mercy basketball by the Sports Dad, and he hits 500 feet to left field.
Clem scheduled him once.
Amazing. So, all right. That's a wrap on this Write That Down session, and a wrap on Green Bay Men's Basketball Insider weekly here
and
on
Detroit
Score
Mercy.
North.